You know how people say timing is everything? I have said it 100 times, but the older I get, the more I realize how true it is, especially when we're talking about taxes and retirement money. The IRS runs on its own clock, not yours. And if you don't understand the timing rules, you ended up paying more than you need to. Think of your retirement plan like a replay race. You've been running your leg for decades, saving, investing, working hard, and now you are getting close to passing the baton. But here's the trick. The IRS decides when you have to start running the last lap. That's your required minimum distribution, or RMD. The moment you hit that magic age, currently 73, you must start taking money out of your traditional IRA or 401k, whether you need it or not. If you don't plan for it, you can stumble right before the finish line. Now, the Big Beautiful Tax Act didn't change the RMD age. It stayed at 73 for now and won't go up to 75 until 2033. But what it did give us is something that's just as powerful, a few extra laps of breathing room before higher taxes would hit. It expanded today's lower brackets and added a brand new $6,000 senior deduction to 2028. That's 4 years of extra daylight for you to plan strategically. Think of it like the starter giving you an extra minute before the sun goes up. You can position yourself, and you can make sure you are ready to run your best rate. When I talk to clients, that's the part that I emphasize, the timing. You can't stop the IRS clock, but you can decide how you move while it's ticking. Let me tell you about Harold. He's 72, just retired, and had about $1.2 million in traditional IRA. When he came in, he told me, "Mia, I'm not touching that money unless I have to." And I smiled because I have heard that so many times before. We ran the numbers and realized he was about to miss one of the best planning opportunities of his life. If he waited until next year to start taking RMDs, every dollar he withdrew would pile on top of his Social Security and investment income, possibly push him into the next tax bracket. So instead, we create a 2-year Roth conversion for 25 and 2026 plan. So he convert $80K each year, use the standard deduction and his $6,000 senior deduction to stay in the 22% bracket, and move that money into a Roth, so tax-free growth for life. When his RMD begin at 73, they will be smaller. His total taxes will drop, so we have more flexibility later. That's what I meant by timing. He didn't just react to the rules. He ran ahead of them. Now, the next story is one of my favorite because it shows what happened when couples coordinate. Carol and Alan was both in their late 60s, recently retired and living mostly on savings right now. They haven't started Social Security yet. So when we sat down, I told them, you two have about 4 years window, the calm before the storm. Between now and 2028, they have low income, predictable tax rates, and that $12,000 combined senior deduction to soften the blow. So each year, they are filing in their 22% bracket with Roth conversions. It's like we are setting up a dominoes that fall in their favor later. So, smaller RMDs, right? The lower taxable income in their 70s and more tax-free income in their 80s. Alan laughed and said, so basically, we're paying a little tax now to buy peace of mind later. And I said, exactly. You are buying time with taxes that you can control, not the one the IRS decides for you. This ties back to the same idea we talked about in earlier videos, like when we covered the senior deduction and the bracket creep protection under the Big Beautiful Tax Bill. You remember those? Those changes aren't just random. They are puzzle pieces, and that fit perfectly here. Because when you combine the senior deduction and the inflation adjusted brackets and the extended low rate environment, you suddenly have room to do Roth conversion strategically. It's one of the once in a decade planning windows. Now, not everyone's story is about converting. Some are about catching up. Take Robert, for example. See, he is 75, and now he missed it RMD last year because he was hospitalized. Under the old rules, that would have been a 50% penalty, half of what he missed. But with the Secure Act change, and penalty dropped to 25%, and if you correct it within 2 years, it can go as low as 10%. We have him file the missed withdrawal and submit Form 5329 to the IRS explaining what happened. They expected the correction. They accepted it, and Robert paid a small penalty instead of thousands. So he told me, I feel like I hit snooze on the IRS clock. And I said, yeah, that's how you're back on track. Then there's Janet. She's 45 and inherited her dad's IRA. She thought she could just sit on it and deal with it later. But the secure rules say otherwise. You have to empty an inherited IRA within 10 years. So we talked through her situation and built a plan. She's spreading the withdrawals evenly over the decade. And since the big beautiful tax bill keeps rates steady through 2028, we are front-loading more of the income now because the brackets are lower. She's also using her own Roth IRA for a part of the funds. So when she hit her 50s, she will have a good mix of pre-tax and tax-free money. I told her you can't stop the countdown, but you can decide how fast the timer runs. This is where timing meets strategy for everyone listening. If you are between 60 and 75, this next few years might be the most important of your retirement planning life. The big beautiful tax bill didn't just change a few numbers, they gave us stability. So stable rates, prediction, deduction, and the clear 4-year runway. If you coordinate this with what we covered in our earlier videos, like the Savers Penalty Relief, SJ expansion, and the Senior Deduction planning, you can stack multiple benefits at once. You might lower your AGI with an HSA, use the Senior Deduction to shield Roth conversion, and then use charitable giving to offset what's left. It's like setting your financial clock to work in harmony instead of chaos. Here, how to do it step by step. Step 1, know your bracket. Add your income, subtract your standard deduction, and if you are 65 or older, take up the $6,000 senior deduction too. The space you have left before jumping into the next bracket, the Roth conversion sweet spot. Step 2, coordinate Social Security. If you haven't started benefit yet, delay them while you are doing conversion. If you keep your AGI lower, that helps you convert more efficiently. Step 2, watch the Medicare threshold like RMDs surcharge kick in faster than you would think. A small conversion can bump your premiums if you're not careful. So plan out your conversion over several years instead of one big move. Step 4, once RMDs begins, give strategically. Use Qualified Charitable Distribution to donate directly from your IRA to charity. It counts toward your RMD, but it doesn't show up as income on your return. Step 5, review your heirs. Both IRAs are still gold for estate planning. Heirs must empty them within 10 years, but the withdrawal remains tax-free. That's one of the best timing gifts you can ever leave behind. If we connect all the dots, the senior deduction, the bracket indexing, the lower penalty for missed RMDs, the charitable option, and the Roth flexibility, they are all point to one big message. Use this window before it closes. The big beautiful tax bill didn't stop the clock, but it slowed it down long enough for you to catch your breath. Check your watch and make your next move count, because when 2029 roll around, those rates, deduction, and conversion advantages could all look very different. So don't let the IRS set your timing for you. Be proactive. Run ahead of the clock. Make the next 4 years, 25 to 28 counts. Convert strategically, give wisely, and coordinate your income so you control the timing instead of reacting to it. Because when it comes to retirement and taxes, timing is really everything. And right now, the clock is still on your side if you use it. Thank you for watching. I'm Mia. I see you at the next video.